What's up guys, Captain Russia here. Welcome back to another build spotlight video. This time we'll be looking at a solo dungeon build. This build works really well for speed clearing the solo random dungeons. Has a lot of AOE damage and good defensive skills that can be combined into a powerful heal and invulnerability block. Let's take a quick look at the gear and the skill selection. So here I'm running roughly an equivalent of 6.1 gear. Even my 4.3 is technically 6.1 or 7 flat. So the core of the build, of course, is the weapon, the Greataxe. We have a lot of bleeding and AoE damage in the rending swing. That's our Q. We're taking use of the new Raging Blades. That's the new skill that got added with the Percival patch. And of course the Whirlwind is the E, which is the staple of the build for massive AoE damage. And I usually take the Life Leech passive. Now for the healing and the sustain combo, we're using the Graveguard and the Cleric Robe, what I like to call Cleric Guard. So basically, if you guys don't know how this works, if you take damage and you pop the Everlasting Spirit, what happens is you get invulnerable for, I think, up to 3 seconds. And in that second you can actually activate the sacrifice of the Graveguard on yourself and you will get healed for almost like 1,000 health. It's a pretty high amount. For the boots we need mana, actually a lot of mana, axes eat a lot of mana. So I use the Focused Run spell on the Scholar Sandals. And for the cape, I mean the cape is a bit of a choice, but I've been kind of experimenting with the Martlock one. For that almost like a block, it's a 50% resistance increase when you get low. So for food, I'm obviously running the health regen, and I prefer to do catfish instead of the cabbage soup because it's cheaper. And what I usually would do is I would pop it when I go into the dungeon, and then I'll switch to the eel stew, for example, or you can do an omelet. In case PvP happens, I can just pop that and it will cancel out my my food and give me the damage and the cooldown reduction buff. I'm also carrying the healing potions. Again, I only use them if PvP happens. And I'm also running with an energy, again in case if I run into other players, so I can overcharge. So now let me show you how it works in an actual dungeon clearing. And I got 2 PvP clips in the end to show some PvP viability of this build as well. And as always, please make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content.